Welcome to Season 2 of Transport Fever 2 with CasualT Gaming. We are going to start a new free play game today, and I thought I'd give you guys a look at the map that we're going to play on. It's going to be a tropical map. We're going to add some more water into it. We have a few islands, but even when I cranked this thing up pretty high, it wasn't really generating the islands around the outside. But I thought that it'd be interesting to look at this map. We are going to go into our custom settings, and we are enabling a few modifications. This cargo terminal's capacity multiplier will basically let us store more goods at the truck terminals and the airports, as well as the docks, which I figure is going to be important given that we're going to have more shipping. We're also going to be using the expanded cargo demand, so now every city will have 4 demands instead of 2. And just like before, we're going to use the production times 4 so that all of our production levels are increased. Excuse me. We're going to stick with a tropical climate and tropical environment. We're going with European vehicles. And just for pronunciation's sake, let's stick with American names. All right, and let's get started. Okay, let's look at our map. We have a large map with a 1-to-1 ratio, and so starting all the way up here in the northeast, we have Miramar that wants food, goods, machines, and fuel. Well, food might be pretty simple to provide. We have Cambridge, which wants goods and tools. So goods is shared with Miramar, that's good, as well as fuel is shared with Miramar. However, they want construction materials and tools as well. So there's a tools factory here, a sawmill here, and a forest here. So this could be very quick to provide. Santa Ana wants goods, food, fuel, and construction material. So they share the food requirement that they want. And they all 3 want fuel, which to me means there's not going to be any fuel anywhere nearby. Actually, I take that back. Aurora has fuel right here that could be shipped over to here and then taken by truck or train to Cambridge, Miramar, and Santa Ana. Hialeah here wants goods, food, construction material, and fuel. I think that's actually the same set as Santa Ana. So whenever we get something for Santa Ana, we can also provide it to Hialeah. So that's definitely going to be something we want to explore with some sort of a train system between these two so that any goods or any items that go to one can go to the other. In this corner, we have St. Paul, which wants food, fuel, machines, and goods. Food, again, will be very easy to provide to St. Paul. St. Paul also has an oil refinery, but only a chemical plant, no fuel plant nearby. Here we have Las Vegas in a valley of green that wants tools, goods, machines, and fuel. And they have the ability again to generate oil, but no ability to generate fuel. Lowell here wants fuel, machines, goods, and food, and actually has very little access to any of those items. We do have a construction materials plant here and a quarry right here that could feed Hialeah and Santa Ana. Santa Ana does have a construction materials plant, but no good source of materials. Joliet wants goods, fuel, and tools. Again, there's a nice tools factory here. There's also one here, so we can decide how we want to split up that production. We probably, because of the 4x multiplier on production, only want to utilize one factory and then try to set that everywhere. We have Aurora with food, construction materials, fuel, and goods. So the first bit of fuel will definitely go back to Aurora, but then we'll have to figure out, we might put a dock on this side to make the boat transit a little bit faster, because we know that trying to make the boat take the long way around makes a lot less sense than having some trucks that can truck it over to the dock. We have Columbia here, which wants fuel, tools, construction materials, and goods. There's a tools factory over here. There's a construction materials plant, but not really the raw materials to feed into it. Actually, I take that back. We have a couple of forests and this sawmill that can feed into this tools factory. We're going to continue going across. We have Wichita Falls. We have fuel, construction materials, goods, and tools. So a lot of our facilities want these higher or at least second order items. There's only a couple of them that want food right now, which is what I would consider a first order item. This one is one of the ones that wants food, and again, we have a very nice, easy way to provide them with food. And we have oil, but we don't have a refinery, except all the way over here. We have fuel here, fuel refinery here. Coming down, we have Colorado Springs, which has the same needs, and New Orleans is slightly different in that they want some food. So I think one of the first things we're going to do is connect Inglewood, New Orleans, Colorado Springs, and try to grow those three, maybe with just the food. Oh, I take it back. I'm sorry. I thought Colorado Springs wanted food as well. We'll have to come back to that and rethink that. Modesto does want food, but they really want construction materials and goods. And there's a construction material plant here and a quarry over there. So this construction materials plant could feed Modesto and Colorado Springs very easily. And then lastly, we have High Point over here, which wants construction materials, fuel, goods, and food. So we have a lot of cities that want a lot of more complicated items. So I think what we're going to do is focus on ones that want some of the simpler items, at least early game, and we will also work on connecting them via mass transit, i.e. by train, or in this case from Inglewood to New Orleans. I'm tempted to put a dock down here at the point and another dock over here halfway between Inglewood and the food processing plant so that we can start shipping the food down to New Orleans. So I think that's where we're going to start on this episode. We have $10 million. I actually don't remember how much more we can borrow right now, but for now it doesn't really matter. And let's get started with our cargo harbor. And I really would like to put it down here at the point. And let's set up a cargo depot. And we'll go ahead and do two-sided for now. I'm not 100% sure that's what we'll continue doing, but for now, I think that makes sense. And we'll need a drop-off for the food, which is going to be down this way. And we'll need a new line from here to here. And this will be New Orleans food delivery. And we'll need a road depot to manage that. And let's stick the road depot somewhere more out of the way, like out here. And we'll need some cargo vehicles. We have a 5 with 73, a 5 with all, but cannot transport food. And this one can do 16 miles an hour, but the emissions are quite high. So we'll do 3 of these, and they'll go to the New Orleans food delivery line. As I said, over here, we're going to try to do a dock, kind of in between the two. Or actually, yeah, in between the two, because I may want to expand this out into passenger service as well. Let's build our buildings. We only need one-sided. And let's configure this. So that it's a straight in and out. And then we will build our dock, our loading dock on this side. But because we have the shipping dock right there, I want to see if I can make it. Oh no, that's a lot wider than it looks. Let's see if we can't put our, there we go. Let's see, how do I want to configure this? I want to make it so that this can connect to this. Let's see first off if I connect it via a street, if it will attach. And it does. So let's see if I attach this street. Oh, just off. I can tell it's fairly close. So what we're going to do is we're going to waste some money, but we're going to bulldoze this dock. Because what I would like to do is be able to extend a street out to the water and build a dock where I don't even need to transport. Yeah, there, like that. Exactly like that. Okay. So then this needs to be reconfigured because I didn't build this one correctly or in the right spot. What I now want to do is I want to put this building, this truck station, right along the edge of the road. Probably about here or so. And I want I do want both sides. I want the trucks to basically go straight across to there. And then I want there to be an exit right there. And I do want to delete that because I'm going to make that an entrance only road. Alright, so we need a new line from here to here, and this will be the Inglewood grain. And then we'll need a new line from here to here, and that's the Inglewood, New Orleans food. And we will need a new building here in Inglewood itself that wants food. And we're going to pass it along the outside of the city to try to minimize the noise. And that'll be Inglewood food delivery. And we'll need a road depot for that, and we'll put that right here. We'll need, so this can take, well, okay, so now we're outside the city. So that's going to be the grain. And then now that we're going into the city, I want to make sure we take something that's a little bit more reasonable. And we need to build ourselves a shipyard. And I'm going to build a shipyard right here in between. Really? And we're looking for a cargo ship that can motor. The Klondike can transport bread and does 19. So we're going to get one of those. Oh, except it's a big ship that does 19. Okay, we're going to sell this and buy the Rigi instead. And let's start things off. And as expected, we have a lot of grain building up here. But we have these two terminals swapped. Oh, get out of the way. And we have our first food production starting. And I think Inglewood food delivery is going to be a little bit over capacity. And I think the grain is going to be where we want to increase our production. Alright, we've got some grain waiting over here. We've got 2 on board. That's not too bad. Every 11 seconds we're picking up cargo. Inglewood's happy that we're now providing them with some food. What about New Orleans? Not yet New Orleans, because we haven't dropped anything off yet. Frequency's down to every 7 seconds. Let's start putting together a passenger dock. The 86 is going to be more than this ship can carry. Which is wonderful that we have that kind of production. Right, if we're going to put in a tram, we're going to need to make sure all of our roads have trams. And then we'll need a tram station or tram depot. We'll put the tram depot out here where it's noisy. Alright, we can't reach all of our tram. Oh, there we go. And so why would they want to come down here? Well, we need to make this also a passenger hub. Put in a passenger dock and a passenger landing and create a new route. And we're going to buy ourselves another Rigi, except this time it's only going to go for passengers. And we need to set up our infrastructure down here for connecting up our city. Oh, I put in all truck stops, which is not going to help us. And this will be the NO bus line. And we'll need to buy some buses. 11 miles an hour, 4, 12 miles an hour, 5, 6, okay. And let's go. And then this way, people can go from one side to the other. And I think we may need a couple more vehicles. Oh no, we have 3. That's plenty. We have people who want to go to Inglewood getting ready to come on board. And we have people who now realize New Orleans is an option. Our production is pretty good. Our shipment is not great. We already have 50 something waiting for the New Orleans food ship to arrive. And we'll go ahead and let that happen. I do like the trams. I think we're going to go ahead and replace all of these vehicles with trams. Well, not all of them. We probably don't need that many. But I need to have a tram station first. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Thankfully, we did drop off some people who are interested in traveling. We haven't picked anybody up yet. We are going to pick up, hopefully, all the food we need. And I think we will need to... hitting the wrong button multiple times, that's always fun. No, we need to increase that so that our production will ramp up because we have the demand for the food. For example, we know that this city is not getting enough of the food because our transport's just not picking it up fast enough. Looks like we have our first few people who want to go to New Orleans on board or at the dock. That's wonderful. This little road is going to be a huge bottleneck. I can already feel it. Well. 15, that's not bad for the very first line. Well, we've started our second season. We've got some ships, which we really didn't take advantage of in our in season 1 of the game. We've got our couple of tram lines, we've got our food production started down here, and hopefully we can ramp that up soon and connect it to another city. We know Colorado Springs doesn't want food, Wichita Falls doesn't want food, Lowell does. That's a bit of a drive, but it's doable. That might be what our next destination is. Modesto does want food, but we've got a land bridge in the middle, so that would make it very difficult. I guess on our next episode, we'll look at some other options for where we can get started in producing goods and or some transportation for our folks, and we'll go from there. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in, especially now that we've on to season 2, and for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you on the next one.